guys, it's Neil again from Heart of Texas Armory, and today I want to bring you guys a video that will most likely be pretty controversial because today we're going to be talking about this watch here you see in front of you, which is a fake Rolex. So this is a direct copy, a blatant ripoff of a Rolex Milgauss. So join me today and find out my complete thoughts on this fake Rolex. So right off the bat here, I do want to be very clear and let you guys know that I'm 100% against the whole counterfeit watch market that's out there. And unfortunately, it's pretty prevalent in our day and age with the technology that's out there. These things are pretty rampant, and you can find a number of sites out there that are selling basic just rip-offs, copies, counterfeits of Rolex, Tudor. There's quite a few brands that are very common, AP. But this one here I did acquire, and the story behind it, normally I would never purchase one of these directly from one of those sites like that. But this one I purchased at a local flea market that I always go to maybe once a month, and I always take a look at the watches they have out there. I've even purchased some really nice vintage watches at that flea market. But this one, I immediately saw it was a Rolex, and I knew it was a fake. Now, the good thing is the seller that was selling this also knew it was a fake, and he was very honest with me. He told me immediately when I asked a question about it, he said it was a fake Rolex, and he was asking $100 for this watch. So that to me seems pretty high, so I offered him $50. He agreed, so I picked up this watch for $50. Now, like I mentioned, I would normally never purchase one of these, but it was secondhand, and I purchased it knowing it was a fake. And basically what this is going to do, it's going to allow me to produce this video for you guys to show you what's out there, the quality of these fake watches, and some of the things that they get right, some of the things they get wrong. But hopefully this will be a good educational video for everyone. So this is a copy of a Rolex Milgauss, and the Milgauss is a classic Rolex model, particularly this one here with the blue dial. But one of the first signs that I knew this was a fake was this watch does not have the green hue along the edge of the crystal. So all of the authentic Rolex Milgausses with this dial have that green hue. You can see it right there on the screen. This one here does not have that. It's basically clear. So I knew immediately that this was a fake. When I looked at it a little closer too, I noticed a few things that kind of jumped out at me. One, the bracelet here. The bracelet is obviously way lower quality than what you're going to get on a real Rolex. That was a dead giveaway to me. The finishing on it, the polishing on it, just the feel of it, it's not Rolex quality. It was immediate. Once I picked it up and felt that bracelet, I knew without a doubt that this was a fake. Also, the latch here is not near the quality, or the clasp here is not near the quality of the authentic Rolex. So the bracelet was a dead giveaway. Another thing that I saw immediately too was that the indices here are spaced too close to the chapter ring. So on the authentic one, there should be a little bitty gap between like your hour markings or the Rolex emblem here. You should have a little gap between that and the actual chapter ring, where on this one here, the fake, the counterfeit, it's too close to that chapter ring. So that also was a giveaway. And then also just looking at those markings, they're just not placed as accurately as you would get on an authentic Rolex. So dead giveaway there on those. But some of the things that they did well is, one, the hands. So you can see they pretty much nailed that lightning bolt seconds hand, which is a really cool seconds hand that only the Milgauss has. They really nailed it. They nailed the color. Everything looks good on that. And also the minute and hour hands are well done too. Obviously they're not in white gold like the real Rolex, but they do look good, and they did a good job on those. Now the dial, it does look very nice. You can see it does have a nice sunburst. It has a good blue color, which it's supposed to. The real one has a really nice color. But this one here doesn't have quite the linear striations coming out of the center of that sunburst. This one is just a little more muted, whereas the authentic Rolex one just pops a little more in my opinion. But it does look nice. The dial, they did a good job on it, but it's just not quite up to the Rolex standard. Also, the text here, they did pretty well. The font they used, the size of it, all that's fairly well done. But to me, the biggest thing that they did really nice is actually the entire case. So the case here, this is stainless steel. They do have a screw down crown here. It is got the signed Rolex marker there, but the case is well done. The polishing on it looks good. The quality, the feel of it, the heft of it, it all feels pretty close to a real Rolex. So that they did really well as well. And flipping the watch over to take a look at the back of the case, and as well as the case back. Some things they did actually pretty good, and some others they did really sloppy. So looking at the actual case, the back of the case here, you can see it has a very crude radial brushing. Now on a real Rolex, Rolex takes just as much care on the back of your watch as they do on the front, and they would never have something that's sloppy or crude on the back of a watch, at least on a current production Rolex. So that was also done pretty sloppily, and it should be an easy telltale sign that this is a fake. Now the actual case back, they did a pretty good job on it. You can see the knurling here, the texture, that's done properly. They have the Rolex hologram, which is authentic. It looks close to the original, and all the text is properly done too. Now it may not be etched as deep as the actual Rolex, but it does look legit. So the case back, they did a good job on. The actual back of the case with that brushing is done rather sloppily. And the movement inside this watch is some generic Chinese automatic movement. Not near as accurate as an actual Rolex, of course. We're getting around plus 15 seconds a day with this watch. I haven't really worn it on my wrist, mainly just here on my desk, just keeping it wound up. But an actual Rolex will be way more accurate than that. Looking at the crown here, the threads are well done. You can see me unthreaded here. The watch does hack when you pop out the crown, which is nice, and it is an automatic movement, if I didn't mention that before, and it is hand windable. But one thing that I did notice is that the crown is a bit sloppy, so you can see it right there. The movement, it's just too sloppy. An actual Rolex is going to be built a lot better than this watch. Threading the crown back in is fairly decent here. The threads are well done, and it goes in just fine. So I'm kind of at a crossroads what to do with this watch. I don't know if I should just wear it, sell it, or even go as far as destroying it. So if you guys have any comments on what I should do with this watch, definitely leave them down below. I'll take those all into account. But 100% I am against this counterfeit watch market that's out there. Normally I would never pick one of these up. I just had the opportunity to purchase this one, and I did so just so I can show you guys kind of what's out there, what these fake Rolexes are like, the quality of them, and hopefully, this was an educational video. And again, guys, I would love to hear some comments on what to do with this watch. I'm sure some of you guys are going to want me to smash it with a hammer, and I'm not opposed to that, but I would like to hear your comments. But overall, it's not a bad watch. It looks good, it wears just fine, but the problem is it's a copy, it's a counterfeit watch, and I just can't get my head wrapped around that to enjoy it. I don't get any pleasure wearing this watch on my wrist. I'm not trying to deceive anyone. So to me, this watch is just strictly for education, to see what these Chinese companies are out there doing, the quality of them, and to kind of compare it and to show you guys as well. So hopefully this video didn't offend any of you guys. If it did, I'm sorry about that, but I did have the opportunity to pick this watch up. I did so, and I wanted to film and show you guys what this watch is actually like. So if you have any questions or comments on this watch, definitely leave them down below. I would love to hear them. And guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care.